Hey, what's going on, guys? Asian Eyes White Dragon here. So I figured we'd do some deck profiles just because the March list was actually posted on the Konami Yu-Gi-Oh card website, and so there's a lot of different decks that I'm trying out right now, just because I'm kind of practicing for the March ban list here. But anyways, this is going to be a deck profile of a variant of Chaos, and it's really good. I'm liking this deck a lot. It's pretty good, and it has a pretty decent matchup against Inzektors. Also, other decks like Six Samurais just really can't keep up with. There's too many monsters, really. And obviously, Six Hams like to go for like Naturia Beast, Shien. And like you don't really rely on your spells and traps too much in this deck, so it works out pretty well. So yeah, let me get started with the deck profile. So we got BLS because he's still there. We got one Caius. Caius just, I don't know, this one Caius, it just wins games just by itself. And then next up we got double Card Trooper, 3 Chaos Sorcerers. And I know you're thinking it could possibly clog, but when you have, Raikou, it really just makes it so much better. And, plus with Chaos Sorcerer being a spellcaster, you can summon, Valor, and you can synchro up and make an Arcanite Magician quite easy. But yeah, I mean, summon Chaos Sorcerer, remove 1, and then you can summon Junk Synchron and bring back Effect Valor, make an Arcanite, pop 2, and then you still have, your Junk Synchron to attack with, and you still have Arcanite. I mean, if you're removing 2 counters, you're probably going to keep Arcanite Magician in defense mode. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent play. And then next up, we've got the Dark Armed. I feel there's enough Darks. All you really need to do is Tour Guide into Sangan, and then search out Junk Synchron with Sangan, and then if you have a Raikou or Max C in the graveyard, because those are both cards that you can get back with Junk Synchron as well. You can make Frozen Fitzgerald, you can make Catastor, you can make Librarian. Those are pretty much the cards you go for. But yeah, it works pretty good. And then 3 Valor, just because it has a really good matchup against Inzektors, and yeah. Next up, Gores, just because there's not very much back row protection, most of the stuff is going to be negating their summon, so technically if you use that, then if they MST it, then you'll have no cards in the field as far as back row. The next up, we got Triple Junk Synchron. I really like this card so much because it allows you to have a really good normal summon, because you essentially get to synchro up. Maxi hurts just a little bit. I mean, yeah, Maxi does kind of hurt the deck because you basically get to let your opponent +1 off of you, because whatever you get back with Junk Synchron, you're most likely going to be synchroing, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. Next up, we play Triple Max C just because windups are a very popular deck, and when you just get to Max C and they don't get the loop off, then they kind of just end their turn. And I mean, once you start removing stuff, windups can fall apart, but Windup Factory is still at 3, so they can still kind of cycle through a lot of cards relatively quick. Next up, we're playing 3 Raikou. I was playing Thunder King for a while, but Thunder King just was a little bit too slow as far as putting lights and darks in the grave. I mean, he puts himself, which is a light, and I know he stops like a lot of different decks. But yeah, I felt like Thunder King. It's a great card, although I just personally like Raikou a lot more because it hits different rogue decks that people are using. And Raikou's good for the middle, basically. Next up, we got the Sangan and Triple Tour Guide. So, you get to exceed for what you need, and whenever you remove something, you can get it back with Levier here. I mean, I usually remove Effect Valor. That's usually one of the lights I remove, because I want to keep my Raikous for my Junk Synchron target, because I can make Frozen Fitzgerald, which is actually a really good card against Dino Rabbits, because if they can't activate anything when it declares its attack. On top of that, it comes back, so I mean, and it gets over pretty much everything that Dino Rabbit can use. I mean, 8 points for points Utopia, but then it can just come back. So realistically, this card is just so good against them, because Dino Rabbit does run Deep Prison, they run Lance, and in that case, whenever you summon Frozen Fitzgerald, they just have to Lance immediately before you even go to battle phase, and then you're like, okay, I want to attack now. So yeah. So it has pretty good matchup against Dino Rabbits as well, just because there's so much monsters. But yeah, like I said, removing Effect Valor is usually the light you want to remove, because when you go for Levier, you can bring back Effect Valor, and you can synchro up with the Chaos Sorcerer to make Arcanite Magician, or whatever you really need to go for. Next up, we're on to the spell section. So we're playing Lure, and we're playing Dark Hole, Heavy, Mind Control, Reboard, Avarice, and I still am playing Triple Duality in this. I still feel like this card is too good, because I mean, your normal summons in this deck, or normal summon sets, are going to be pretty much Raikou and Card Trooper, and you have 3 Raikou and Double Trooper, and sometimes you just want to tribute for Caius or add that Caius to your hand. It just works pretty well. I'm pretty satisfied with running triple duality in it. I mean, if you have your big play, I mean, make your play, don't duality then. It just helps out going first. And like the draw power in this deck is pretty good. There's no Dimensional Alchemist in it like another variant, but I really like this deck. It's really aggressive too. But next up for the traps, we got double Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted is just so good with Card Trooper. It just nets a +1 when they go MST and you go, okay, I'll chain Call of the Haunted to get back Card Trooper. Okay, Card Trooper dies. Okay, now I get to, draw a card. And on top of that, it allows access for other things like when you get back Chaos Sorcerer, you can remove, then you can summon whatever you need to summon and then synchro up. Again, most common play I do is summon Johnson You're going to get back Effect Veiler. It's just really good. And then we have Double Warning, Torrential Tribute, and for the last slot right here, I would play another Torrential Tribute just because Dust Shoot would be, gone. I put this card there just to remind me. Or you can try to play Tragodia. I wish I had room for Tragodia, but I actually couldn't find room in this because I wanted to play the Card Troopers and I wanted to have a decent normal summon. Like, sometimes people will put in Thunder Kings and, you can just go summon Card Trooper, point for point Thunder King, and you get to draw one. It's just a really solid play. But as far as the extra deck, there's nothing out of the ordinary other than Frozen Fitzgerald. And I do play Acid Golem just because it likes to point for point Black Ledger Soldiers, and it's quite good at doing that. But yeah, so that's been my deck profile of my Junk Chaos, I guess you can call it. It's a pretty interesting variant. I mean, there's no like doppels or anything. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but I find the deck pretty good. I found it relatively consistent with those 3 dualities. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this deck. But thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.